this is the Bitcoin rainbow chart. If you have ever seen this, it basically shows kind of a logarithmic path for Bitcoin. And when you look at this, you can see it has stayed within certain bands. And I really think that this shows very well kind of the overall pattern we've seen for Bitcoin. It just looks much cleaner in this logarithmic pattern here, where you can see the first bull run, it got up very high. This was a big spike right here, and then it moved up higher, and then it got crushed. And then the next one, it started a little bit, not quite as explosive. It went to one peak and then came down like a mountain. And then we had this kind of fake out over here. And then this is the two parts to the last bull run where we barely peaked above. But you can see with the logarithmic, actually, the peak of the bull run was the first half of the bull run, if you look at it right there, which is quite interesting because of the way the logarithmic measures things. And it takes time into consideration. And, it's just very fascinating when you look at these numbers and you look back and think about, where we've been with Bitcoin. We think about, man, this was such a bad bear market. And you can see this bear market was not nearly as bad as it was just so many gigantic drops in the previous one. And anyways, guys, the Bitcoin rainbow chart is a logarithmic recession tool indicating market sentiment. Current reading suggests we're in an accumulation phase, a key opportunity for long-term holders. And so what you look at here, when you see these different bands, the colors of the rainbows, they're kind of indicating to you what you should be doing and what you should be thinking, okay? So the red, maximum bubble territory, get out. We didn't even get there in the last bull run. We barely touched the new pull line. If you know what that is, we'll talk about that another day. Then we have the next color that we didn't hit, the other shade of red, still sell, seriously sell. FOMO intensifies on the orange. We never got there in the last bull run. We shot the shot in the first half, as you can see. Maybe why things are trying to be a little more controlled now. Then when you start getting into the yellow bands, this is the orangish and the yellow bands are profit-taking bands. You should definitely consider taking profits when you get up to that range. But you can also note that, we didn't get up as high in the last one as we did the previous one. So that means that when we start to get maybe to the, pure yellow zone here, I would say the hodl zone here, that would be a good place. I would say you would want to take a lot of profits, in my opinion. And then anything under that is great. Right now it says we're in an accumulation zone. And I believe we are in accumulation zone. I told you that several weeks ago, actually. I told you that looks like we were heading into an accumulation zone instead of the all-time highs by the end of the year I thought we were going to be at. And this is better, because this is going to be more controlled and it's going to last longer. So it's actually a good thing. So there you go. There's your macro indicator of the day. We'll be, weaving that in sometimes. Now let's move on. Let's talk about some charts. Let's click on Trading View. Okay. Don't forget, guys, if you want to trade on Phemex, we do have a link for you to do that with.
And there's a QR code on the screen.
And there's a QR code on the screen. Just scan it. That's all you got to do. Get your Palau ID. We got information on how to do that. And there you go.